Intro. Lower body day, nice and simple, not lots of volume because I'm only maintaining. This is me skipping for a warm-up, 10 to 15 minutes, gentle skipping with a few mess ups, quite a few. I'm really bad at skipping when I'm not warm. And I was listening to no music here so that you can actually hear a bit of sound, and it's harder for me to skip without music because it gives me a rhythm. Slowly getting better. I'm happy with how things are going. I'm getting used to this rope now, although it keeps on breaking. First exercise, quads. These are step ups, 3 sets of step ups. If you're looking to really gain leg mass, I would look at doing 4 or 5 sets of this exercise and the next exercise back to back. But for me, I'm only maintaining my legs, so I don't want to exhaust myself. I want my recovery going into my other muscle groups. So there's no point drastically fatiguing myself and ruining myself like I normally do when I'm trying to progress. One thing that you should focus on with these is not kicking up with your other leg too much, because if you do, you're taking the effort off the quad, which is what you're trying to target here. A little bit of ham and glutes, mainly quad doing this movement. This is quite a brilliant movement, if I'm honest, because you think this looks easy, but when you're doing one leg step ups like this at a time with a good range of motion, like you're seeing my knee and my hip is basically parallel there. This is quite a high box to do it on that I found, and you can do this anywhere. That's the brilliant point about it. You just find a step on your stairs if you're new to it, and do a little step, go side onto your stairs and do it. You can honestly, this is so easy to do, no equipment other than something that's raised and flat. You'll notice here I'm not very good at these yet because I'm quite new to bodyweight training, so I haven't quite got all the balancing together. Another thing to think about when you're doing these is you don't want your knee falling inwards, because that means your glute isn't supporting your movement, and you want it to cross. You want this to transfer over to, for example, squats with a barbell, where you don't want your knees collapsing, which if you've got weak glutes, your knees collapse in the movement. We don't want this. So you're thinking about pushing your knee outwards, and you'll notice how my knee never falls in. My balance isn't very good. I feel like I'm going to fall over, but you notice how my knee doesn't fall inwards when I'm pressing on my knee. That's what you want. That's what you're looking for this movement. Nice, slow and controlled. I'm not trying to race anyone. I want to feel my quad do the movement, and I'm going to go until maybe I would have only got 1 or 2 left, and that's the sort of, you see how slow I got there. You know, there would have been a struggle, 1 or 2 left in the tank, but I'm not here to batter myself. I'm here to maintain. Next exercise, 3 sets, banded good mornings. So I did these exercises back to back. The first one was your compound quad exercise, and this, your second exercise, your banded good mornings. Good morning squats. This is what makes it a squat, that little bit there where you bend your legs. That's the squat part. The good morning part is bending over at the hips. I don't like good mornings because I'm quite tight, but good morning squats, where you bend the knees, seem to take that pressure pressure off the lower back. So I love these. This is what I've been doing as my compound for my hamstrings and my glutes. You get both. Really squeeze the glutes at the top. You can't really see my glutes in this. It's all hamstring really that you're seeing. I want to get a stronger band so I can have my feet closer together, but I don't have that, and I don't need it. This is still like I'm still aching from doing these the next day, because I'm doing. Look at the range of motion that I'm doing. Look how much my hips are bending over. You're doing a lot of work there, more than a deadlift. When you think about a deadlift, your hips don't bend over like that, which is one of the problems with deadlifts and not getting enough hamstring activation. This, I'm getting a lot of hamstring activation here. My hamstrings are killing the first 2 times I did this. Brilliant ham and glute exercise. Boom. I love leg extensions. You think, oh, how do I do a leg extension and I'm not in a gym? Well, look at that. Stick a band around something, hook it around your toe, hook it around your big toe, poke it out. That simple. Poke your foot out. Imagine pushing your toes away from you, and we've got a nice quad exercise. So this is the second. This is an isolation exercise. This isolates the quad. It's not a compound. We're not doing like hams and glutes. We're not, we've got nothing else really going into this. You notice when you're looking at your training, little pause at the contractions, and you can't really get a stretch on. I mean, you can get a stretch on this. My leg's going back further enough, which is one of the tips. If you was in a gym, I'd advise you to use the biggest distance on your leg extensions to make sure you're getting full range of motion. Because full range of motion is what we want to think about when we're training. Full range of motion, good contractions, good stretches. That's how you grow. You notice that everything I'm doing is trying to get close to 20 reps. And if I get 20 odd reps, I need to add resistance. I need to either stretch the band a little bit more. So we can talk about that a bit. If something's too easy, if you're getting more than 20 reps, in my opinion, that's a nice little magical number for me. If you're getting more than 20 reps, you need to add resistance. Add weight when you're doing, for example, squat exercises, the step up exercise. If it's too hard, use a smaller step to start off with. If you're a beginner, maybe just like a little step on some stairs. Maybe that's enough. As long as you're using your quad and you're not getting 20 reps, then it's good enough. We don't care about killing ourselves, we care about training. We're not testing, we're training. And training is about good form and a high amount of effort to the target muscle group. We're not trying to ruin ourselves. Potential ruining yourself is for competitions. I'm not competing against anyone. I'm getting solid work on the muscle groups that I want to get muscle groups on. General rule of thumb, if you can't do 5 reps, it's too hard. If you're gonna get more than 20 reps, it's too easy. You can move further away with band exercises, stretch the band more, and it will get harder, so move slightly further away. For the body weight, for the step up exercise, you can simply get a bottle of water, 1 litre, 5 litres, whatever you need. Hold that, hold 2 of them, 2 5-litre jugs if you need to. It's an extra 10 kg, that'll make a massive difference. Anyways, last tiny little bit of posing. You can see that my legs, I'm losing fat on my legs, getting some muscles coming out, little bit of feathers, little bit of striations coming out. I'm still a fatty around the middle, as you can see by that. Anyway, that's only 6 sets on each muscle group. Compounds are a bit of a hard one to gauge, what muscle groups you're counting it on. But three sets of the first one, 3 sets of the second one, 3 sets of leg extensions, three sets of ham curls. There's no magic in training. I'm just targeting the muscle groups I want to target, and I'm putting good effort into each set. I'm not just flapping, I'm putting good effort into each set where there's only 1 or 2 reps, some to failure where it doesn't want to move anymore. A couple of those sets that I did, I went to failure, and I just couldn't move anymore. The first set, these were the first sets of everything, I think, the videos I'm showing you. So never go to failure on the first set, because you just want to prime the muscles ready for the rest of the work. Go like 3 reps away from failure. Then the next 2 sets, you can touch failure if you want. When we're talking about these high rep ranges, going to failure on high rep ranges isn't as bad for your central nervous system, as overloading for your central nervous system as using heavy weights, doing like 2 or 3 reps and going to failure. Fries your central nervous system, get colds and shit, you don't want that. Anyways, super simple lower body workout. If it's not enough work for you, add a set. If it's not enough work for you, add another set. then that would be 20 sets on legs. If you do 5 sets a piece and you're doing supersetting, do the step ups, do the good mornings 5 times, then go on to leg extensions, ham curls, 5 times superset. Bam, it's a good leg workout. After this, I did another 30 to 40 minutes of skipping. Because I'm dieting, I would advise, if you don't like skipping, get some cardio in somewhere, because cardio is the #1 thing you can do for reducing diseases, your potential for disease. Cardiovascular health is really important. Touching it just a little bit, maybe two good hard cardio sessions a week, like really getting a sweat on, really getting out of breath, and not so you feel ill, but just like you get those little endorphins from having a good cardio session. When you get a pump and you get into a rhythm, listen to some music, good half an hour of a steady sweat, and that's the top way to reduce disease. If you're older, if you're younger, you can abuse yourself a bit more. I don't advise abusing yourself, really. I've trained so hard that I've been felt ill or rough months at a time. I don't advise it. Train sensibly. You don't need to kill yourself. You just need to put effort, quality effort, into the target groups. Bam, you grow. Anyway, if you like and subscribe, subscribe to me. If you've got any questions, put them in the comments and I'll make a video about it. Wonderful, 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 wow.